Thursday, August 31st, 2017, Maneko 64, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. So I'd like to look at the market this morning and talk about some currency relationships and precious metals, specifically the yen. Some people have been asking, why is the Japanese yen so important to the price of gold? Well, I've made many videos in the past, and you can do a search in my channel for Japanese yen carry trade, and you find several videos. That's why I won't put in the cards. There's not room enough up there. So basically, the Japanese yen, because of the monetary policy and of the Central Bank of Japan and the government of Japan, the Japanese yen has been kept artificially, how can I say, weak against the dollar for the last 4 or 5 years or so with Abenomics. And plus, Japanese interest rates are negative. Even 10-year yields in Japan are near zero. So what that does is that encourages investors and speculators to fund their activities, their trading and investing by borrowing in yen. And to borrow in yen, you sell the yen and you buy the currency that you want to invest in, let's say dollar. And the reason why this is quite important, and the Japanese yen is a carry trade currency, that's what it's called, a carry trade currency. One of the reasons is that the Japanese economy is one of the biggest in the world. So Japanese financial markets are quite very mature. There's plenty of liquidity. The Japanese yen is accepted as a, convertible currency. The Japanese yen markets in Tokyo, New York, London. So it's very easy to finance, to get involved for big investors and speculators. So since, Abenomics started, and every time, the dollar goes up against the yen, so which is the normal rate we look at. For example, right now we're at dollar yen is 110.63. Every time that goes up, that tends to be a signal for investors to take more risk because the yen's going down. You can finance it cheaply, and that has, in the last few years, usually hurt gold. But I'm noticing right now that gold is performing fairly well. And also, if you look at the chart of gold in Japanese yen, which I have here, we seem to be breaking out also in gold in terms of Japanese yen, which is an interesting, phenomena, in my opinion. So, and why am I talking about this Japanese yen gold relationship? Because I think gold might be actually breaking out, and this relationship has to kind of end, and this is pointing to it. And why do I think that? And I could be wrong, but this is one thing that I think people should look at. For example, earlier this year, when the dollar dropped against the yen and we went down to around, below 109 in the dollar yen, gold topped twice at 12.95. And right now, I think it was last week when gold went to 13, well, earlier, I think it was, when was it? I think it was, when gold went to 13.26 a few days ago, the dollar did drop to around 108.30 against the yen. And, but since then, the dollar has completely turned around, and we're now at 110.60. The high today has been 110.68, and the dollar's been recovering really well against the yen. And in spite of that, gold hasn't gone back below 1,300. Well, it has overnight. The low overnight has been around 12.98. But guess where we're now? We are at 13.06. Gold is actually held, tested that 1,300, held, and has come back up. And as I showed you, that Japanese yen, gold in Japanese yen is starting to break out. So it looks quite interesting. I know a lot of you out there are saying, oh, you gold bugs, you've for 6 years you've been wrong. Maybe in terms of, a price spike, but in terms of people protecting themselves in their national currencies, gold has done really well. Maybe not so well in dollars, but it's done very well for people who hold gold in sterling, Canadian dollars, Australian dollars. So anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about, this relationship between gold and the Japanese yen. But and now to the markets. While gold is 13.06 right now, down about $2.50. That's the spot gold price. The range has been 1297.60 to 1309.50. So we did break below that 1300 level overnight. Silver 1740 right now, down only a cent. The range has been 1726 to 1750. An interesting, I've been following copper. I've been saying that copper could be a harbinger of higher prices, or could it be hoarding from, China? But no matter what, the price looks very positive. We had the $3 resistance that I've been talking about, and now we're at $3.11. So up another percent this morning. The Dow is up 39 points at 21,930. S&P is up 5, 2461. Crude oil fairly weak still, 46.30. That 50 level seems to be a ceiling for now. In terms of currencies, the pound is very weak, 128.70 this morning, down almost 0.5%. The euro is down 31 pips, or 0.25%. And the dollar, excuse me, is up against the yen 0.33% at 110.60. So the dollar's rebounding. I think it's a counter trend rally in the dollar. I think the trend is still down, but I also think gold can go up while the dollar goes up as well. We had that, years ago, 2007, 2008. What else? In terms of news, the European news this morning, economic and market news, seems fairly interesting. I know we have non-farm tomorrow, but for example, what they call European CPI came out today, and it came a little higher than expected. In spite of that, European CPI came out at 1.5 as expected, 1.4, still pretty weak, but the mainstream media seems to think that's a strong number. And I think what's hurting the pound as well is that there's a lot of uncertainty about Brexit now. These Brexit hit pounds set for worst month versus dollar since October. And the pound has fallen even as one of the Bank of England members of the MPC reiterated for a interest rate hike called Saunders from the BOE. So they're like dragging this Brexit negotiation, a lot of uncertainty, and I guess that doesn't help the pound. I don't think the pound has been going down for the last, 3-4 years, mainly because of Brexit. I think that this is like a policy devaluation, covert, that the government has had since 2007, when the pound was more than $2. We're now about 128. I think Brexit has just accelerated it. And we had some news. Also, one of the big retailers in Europe, a French company called Carrefour, their shares have plunged 12% today on a profit warning. So is the European economy doing really well with one of the biggest retailers in Europe, down 12% and, profits warning? Not really, I don't think so. So, that's it for now. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, share it far and wide. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do. If you'd like to make a donation to the channel, there's some links below in the description. And thanks everyone for the support. Over 8,000 subscribers now. Take care. Bye.